When you think of the most dramatic stories in the Bible, the total destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah has to be right at the top of the list. It is a wild ride, packed with divine judgment, a nail-biting escape, and a chilling warning about what happens when you look back. So today, using the text from Genesis 19, we're going to break down exactly what happened and what it all might mean.
So, the story kicks off with this really specific scene. It's evening, two angels show up, and who do they find? Lot, Abraham's nephew, just sitting there at the city gate. Now you gotta understand, the gate wasn't just an entrance, it was the hub of city life. It's where you did business, where leaders held court. The fact that Lot is here tells us he's a person of some importance, and he's about to be thrust right into the center of some truly terrifying events.
And right away, we're thrown into the main conflict. This isn't just some story about fire and brimstone from the sky. No. At its heart, it's this incredibly tense showdown between two powerful, ancient ideas: the sacred duty to protect a guest and the absolute violent hostility of an entire city.
And you can see that contrast right here, clear as day. On one side, you have Lot, doing exactly what was expected of a righteous man back then. He's offering strangers shelter, a place to wash up, and most importantly, his protection. But then, look at the other side. This is the city's response. And we're not talking about a few bad apples here. The text is very clear that a mob of men from all over the city, young and old, showed up with a single horrifying demand. And this is where things get, well, honestly, pretty horrifying to us today. To try and protect his guests, Lot makes this absolutely shocking offer. He actually goes out and offers his own virgin daughters to the mob. Now, this single moment tells you two huge things. First, just how seriously he took the sacred duty to protect a guest under his roof. And second, the sheer level of wickedness in a city that would push a man to make such an impossible, terrible choice. So just when you think the mob's going to break down the door, this is the turning point. The visitors finally show their hand, and boom, divine power steps in. They yank Lot back inside to safety and strike the entire crowd with blindness. Just like that, the angry mob is reduced to a confused, fumbling mess, completely unable to even find the doorway. The showdown is over. The divine intervention has officially begun.
Okay, so the mob outside is taken care of. Now inside, the angels finally lay their cards on the table, and their real purpose is way more terrifying than a violent crowd. You see, this was never just a social call. This was the delivery of a final, urgent warning.
The plan for survival is brutally simple. Step 1, get your family together. Step 2, get out of this place. And step 3 is the why. The Lord is about to completely destroy this city. There's no negotiation, no time to pack. It's just a direct command: run.
And this one line, this tells you everything you need to know about the mindset of Sodom. Lot runs to his future sons-in-law, frantically tells them that God is about to wipe the city off the map, and what do? They laugh at him. They think it's a joke. They are so completely blind to their own wickedness that they can't see their doom even when it's staring them right in the face.
All right, so the sun's coming up and the clock is ticking. The story now shifts gears and becomes this frantic race against time. The command to flee was given, but actually getting Lot and his family out the door turns out to be way harder than you'd think.
I mean, look at this timeline. It shows just how close they cut it. At dawn, the angels are practically screaming, "Hurry up! If you don't go now, you're going to be swept away with everyone else." But what does Lot do? He hesitates. He actually lingers. It gets so bad the angels have to physically grab him and his family and literally drag them out of the city. They only get away because they are forced to, right as the sun is coming over the horizon. So they're out. They're finally clear of the city, but the angels give them one last fateful command. Flee for your lives. Don't look back, and don't stop anywhere in the plain. It's a very clear instruction, but that last part, don't look back, that's going to become the most important test of the entire story. Okay, here we go. This is the moment everything has been building towards. The family is on the run, the sun is up, and that divine judgment they were warned about is finally unleashed. The way the text describes this is just apocalyptic. This is not a volcano, it's not an earthquake, it's burning sulfur raining down from the heavens. The destruction is absolute. It wipes out the cities, the people, the landscape, even the plants. There is nothing left. And then we get this tragic, quiet, pivotal moment. 4 simple words that change everything. But Lot's wife looked back.
In one single act of disobedience, she turns to look at the home, the life she was leaving behind. And the result is immediate and iconic. She becomes a pillar of salt. She isn't just struck down, she is transformed into this permanent monument on the empty landscape, a lasting, haunting symbol of the price of disobedience and the danger of longing for a life that God has already condemned.
So for the final scene, the narrative does something really interesting. The camera, in a way, pulls back. We leave Lot and his daughters, and we shift our focus to see the aftermath through the eyes of one man, Abraham, the same man who just the day before had pleaded with God to spare these very cities.
And the image is just devastating. Imagine being Abraham. You go back to that exact spot where you stood and bargained with God, and you look out, and all you see is thick, dense smoke rising from the land, like it's a giant furnace. His efforts failed. The destruction is total.
And the text gives us one last really important piece of information. You might ask, why was Lot saved? Was it because he was so righteous? Well, the text tells us it was about more than just Lot. It says God remembered Abraham, and because of him, he pulled Lot out of the disaster. So in the end, Lot's survival was tied directly to his uncle's righteousness.
So that leaves us with this big question. For thousands of years, people have seen this as a story about divine judgment, a lesson on the importance of obedience, or a parable about the danger of getting stuck in the past. But when you look at all the pieces, the hospitality, the horrific violence, the hesitation to leave, that one fatal glance backward, what do you think is the ultimate takeaway?